Hello, this is Caleb in Post, talking to you from the future with a message from my past going to your present to let you know that I need you to go to the description below to take our survey for our 100th episode special. I need you to do that for me. We're going to start promoting this at the beginning of these episodes. That is what me from the past told me from the future to do. So go do that right now, and you will be forever known as one of the greatest fans of all time who went into the description below to, or I guess if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube. There is a link in the description of this episode and take that survey, and then you will be one of the greatest fans of all time. Thank you. Now enjoy the episode. Alex, let me tell you, my life has become pain. Okay. So, Mariah cleared out Colby's room so they can stay there. And I think all the spiders that once resided in Colby's room all migrated into my room. Because all this week I've been waking up with spider bites all over me. I think I'm either going to become a superhero or I'm going to become dead. It's one of those two options.
You're fucked.
I really am.
It's so Jover, bro.
It's Jover.
It's Jover.
I'm just glad they're not brown recluses. Else my spine would have rotted away by now.
Probably.
Yeah.
They migrated over.
They really did.
They're all the U.S. people moving to Mexico because they realized, wow, it's cheaper over here.
Let's go.
You know, that's a problem when a white person moves to Mexico because it's cheaper. They'd rather live in a cartel, mafia-centered country than live in the U.S.
because it's so bad here.
Third world country with the Gucci belt on. Hassan got it right.
That is true. That is very true. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious. I am your host, Caleb.
The penis Perez. I thought it'd be funny.
That's Alex.
Actually, I was going to say the choder. Because it sounded funnier.
All right, I guess that's the code names for today.
Roger Penis, are you available? No, Choder.
Chode, come in, Chode.
Choder. It's funnier.
Choder, is that you?
Solid Chode and liquid penis. Anyway, dick jokes aside, I know.
I'm good. How are you, Alex?
Trying to not slouch so when I look at the podcast later, I go, damn, I look ugly.
Yeah, you want to?
I do this. I don't, but it's not me because I hate being tall because the problem is
you slunched down.
I know, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, that's the neat part about being short is you try so hard to not be short that you naturally straighten out your spine.
I couldn't do that forever.
There we go.
This is how I am though.
You have always had a slouch though.
Once I started growing. During not adolescence, but like as a child, like I see baby pictures of me and I'm all like,
baby Alex just slowly started to hunch over.
Oh, I did, bro. I swear, I got.
Do you think that has to do with gaming?
No, because I see other guys. I've known other guys who don't game hardcore and they have a slouch too. Like I see older guys.
So it's just a tall person thing.
Yeah, my dad has it. My dad slightly has it.
It's so weird.
Yeah, but he stands up. He stands up all upright all day, and he's been doing that for like 20 years.
You know, that is fair.
So I think that's why. But I see it there. But I think gaming and like sitting down is a slight problem.
Yeah,
I think it adds to it, but I don't think it's the main cause.
Yeah, that's why when I game, it's just feet up, back completely straight.
I would love to get a standing desk in game because I used to stand up when I gamed. Yeah, I'd totally be fine because I'd be pacing. I think I'd actually lose weight gaming if I just because I fucking like to pace when I record. So I'd be like, if I do it while I gamed, I think it'd be beneficial.
You're probably not wrong.
So it's like, one day I'll have it though. It probably won't be soon, but I will have a standing desk to game with.
One day you'll just be plugged into the games and then that's how you'll game.
Fucking VR chat with fucking Ugandan Spanish knuckles. Hey, what up, fool?
Man,
Where's the horse at?
I still wish that some school did a graduation ceremony within VR chat during COVID.
I would have been Chibi Goku.
I already knew that would have been the funniest thing, because I could just imagine all of our different skins that we would have had.
It would have been fucking chaos.
Would have been. Then we'd see like Jarrett walk in as just a big titty anime girl.
I would have been Dio. I would have done. There were some crazy ass skins on that game that would break people's shit. I remember one time somebody had a skin where when they pressed it crashed everybody's game, but it wouldn't crash the audio, and it would just be the end word with a hard R repeating. Just blah. I'm like, great.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Bro, people are wild.
There's some interesting people, bro.
What's wrong with
Once a
people?
screen shows up in front of somebody's face, it's just all morals
They
out
go
the door.
power hungry.
Yes, it's just racism. Have you seen the Tekken 8 fucking Hitler fucking creations? Or no? Yeah, no, they're just, you can create your own character. Not create your own character, but modify characters, and just people are just making Hitler.
Oh my god.
That's just like fucking great, man.
Every time.
Every fucking time. Don't put a uniform. Don't put a British uniform, old British uniform in modern gaming. Just don't do it.
Can't.
Just don't.
It'll always be taken out of context.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, and they made Hitler.
All right. There we go.
And don't give mustache options that just
you can't. You just can't.
Yeah, just don't do that.
People will find a way to make Hitler.
It's just crazy how that man just ruined a facial.
He's forever
ruined it.
Infamous.
Yeah.
For that mustache.
The silhouette, the comb over, and the fucking square.
More people than him had that mustache at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think literally as soon as he became infamous, everybody said,
yeah. Do you think if you just had a regular like mustache and stuff, you think people wouldn't have beards? Like a goatee and stuff? Because
Stalin had that big bushy mustache and people still do that one.
Because they didn't know he imprisoned. Well,
I think
it might have been implied back then.
It might have been implied. But I think because that's such a specific style of facial hair that you have to try to make that happen. Like a beard's not something that you have to try on. It just will grow naturally.
Yeah, it just kind of spawns in eventually at one point.
But like that specific mustache, I think you have to have a specific genetics to be able to grow that kind of mustache. And then you have to
stylize it,
specifically shaving around that area.
To be his barber would have been crazy, bro.
Yeah. Because that would have been now that haircut mustache combo are iconic.
The last man to do that. That would be an interesting movie, like Jojo Rabbit, but instead of a kid, it's just the guy that
who's the last man who had that style. Who was a diehard. No, just because he had it doesn't mean it's a bad style.
I was rocking it and I didn't kill the Jews.
I was wearing this before Hitler. He doesn't own this mustache. I own it. It's mine.
Probably some white guy in like somewhere in the fucking middle of America.
Has to be.
Had to be, bro.
Just that one white guy who's tone deaf.
Just fucking weirdos, man.
Yeah. Really.
So, what are we talking about today?
So, this is a part 2 episode.
Why do we have 8-minute intros? I swear to God.
It's crazy every time. Every single time. Time. This is a part 2 episode, I think.
Okay.
Because I'm back on the Am I the A-hole stories.
Oh, it's a Reddit episode?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'll pull it up. As I'm pulling it up, I'll tell you the one I heard today that made me go, you know what? Let's dive back into that.
Hold on. I'm going to grab my water.
Okay, grab your water. Get some drinky. But no, the story that got me back into this was I was just scrolling through and I heard this one today. I guess I'll let you decide what you think of this guy's story. Mm-hmm. So he was roommates with, or I guess this is a current story. So he's roommates with a guy whose girlfriend he's not particularly fond of. She's kind of crazy.
Okay, fair.
And during, I think Christmas time, their frat
already starting off at a fucking.
Their frat had a party, and at that party, you had to dress like themed as characters, and his roommate's girlfriend and her friend dressed as slutty elves to the party.
Okay.
And then
seems normal.
And then his roommate brought both of those girls back to their apartment to just hang out, I guess. Well, hang out with his girlfriend, but then the other girl was just kind of there to tag along. And then so she comes out and talks to the guy who made this post, and she's like, so do you mind if I just hang out with you real quick? The
friend?
Yeah, the friend of the girl.
So there's just a slutty elf and just guy just sitting on the couch, just like.
So she's like, yeah, I'm not, like, they're doing their thing in there, and I do you mind if I just chill here? And he's like, sure, that's fine,
I guess.
And then she's like, by the way, I only dress like this to support my friend. Mm-hmm. I'm really uncomfortable because the way he describes it, she was basically just half naked. And so she's like, do you mind if I borrow some sweats or something? I see you around, so I promise I'll give them back.
Sure.
And he says no.
Oh.
And then he's like, alternatively, how about I give you a blanket? She's like, that'll
okay,
be fine.
That works.
So he goes to his roommate's closet, grabs a baby blanket, and gives that to her.
Okay.
And then eventually he just plays Fortnite all night, and she eventually falls asleep on the couch.
Fair.
And then his sister comes to pick him up for breakfast in the morning and sees her on the couch, and she's like, what happened? So he tells his sister the story. She's like, yo, why didn't you just give her clothes? This poor girl was on your couch, half naked, a stranger's couch, and you didn't have the decency to give her any sort of clothing, and you gave her the smallest blanket in the entire apartment. And then he gets back, and the girl left him a note. And it was like, I'm sorry about being so awkward last night. Hope to see you around and hope everything's good. Thanks for everything. And he's like, am I the a-hole here?
I don't think he's the asshole. I think it's just one giant oversight. Like, I don't think that doesn't happen to a regular like, I think with almost every scenario in life, you can your brain probably is able to come up with a solution for most things. Mm-hmm. But a random slutty elf girl that you don't know walks in, she asks for some, things like, those are my pants.
Shut up.
So I'll give you like an alternative. I'm not going to give a random person my pants. I think is fair.
That's fair. However, I feel
the blanket should have been bigger. I would have gotten a covering blanket.
Gotten one of his own blankets to at least cover her. Yeah. So like a big blanket, or alternatively, I think everybody has at least either a sweater or a shirt, or even me. I do have a pair of sweatpants that I don't care for that much. That I could be like, you know what?
Just take it.
That's probably not a good place to be, being half naked in a random dude's apartment.
So fucking weird.
I guess maybe I'm just somehow a good person. I'm like, here, clothes.
Yeah, I would have either probably given her one of my worn like jackets or something. I wouldn't have given a blanket. All my blankets are special in my household just because I'm Hispanic. So I would have given her like probably a perfectly sized sweater or something. But like, I feel like in his case, it's just, I don't know what to do. Here's a fucking blanket.
Yeah, but the sister apparently went on to call him an antisocial weirdo for not.
I know. Yeah, I mean, his sister's gonna be just being a dick, dog.
I mean,
when you're thrust upon a girl,
but I mean,
unclothed, and you're just like, here's a blanket.
But I mean, I feel at the end of the day, the morally correct thing to do would be like, you know what, I do see you around, so I'll know I get these clothes back. You can borrow these because you're literally naked in my house and you didn't ask to be here.
I would have actually ended up probably being like, you want to like
Smash.
maybe she is. Well, no. Well, if the situation, is like, hey, if they're doing it, you want to do it. But like, no, but like, I would have been like, you would just like want to like eat some food or something. Like, I don't like, I almost feel like in that sense, it's like the universe puts you guys in a box. You might as well just hang out or do something. But I'm like, you want to like, fair. You guys want to like some egg burritos or something, or like.
Well, I also don't think that him just continuing to play Fortnite makes him an a-hole, though.
No.
I think that's just he's just enjoying his Saturday night.
You're like, in all honesty, as a person, you have the choice to either do two of those things. You can either be Omega good and be like, you know what, I'll hang out with this person so they're not lonely, or here's the basic requirement you asked for. I'm gonna go fuck off.
I'm gonna still just play my game.
Yeah, like I didn't want to be a part of it.
I feel like if he did either of those things, completely altruistic human being.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he's an a-hole for not just giving her at least some form of clothing to make her more comfortable.
Yeah, other than that, I just don't see it
rather than the smallest blanket in the house.
Okay, the thing is though, we don't know how big the blanket was, because it could have been like a small blanket and it was probably like a decently sized.
It was a small baby blanket.
See, I have a small baby blanket, but that motherfucker is huge. I'm just saying
think that makes it a small baby blanket.
I got some big ass baby blankets. Those things work. I see my big ass girlfriend. I've been like, that must have been a big woman.
I mean, I'm from what it was described as, it was a small blanket.
Okay.
So I think that makes him an a-hole.
I don't think it can entirely. That's just a fucking weird situation.
He's not the initial a-hole.
Yeah.
The girlfriend she's the
biggest dickhead.
Is the a-hole.
Yeah, she's the dickhead.
She's the a-hole for bringing her into that situation and being like, all right, peace.
I'm going to go fuck.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, but he's not the biggest one. He could have probably done better.
He's an a-hole, but he's not the biggest a-hole.
Yeah, he just
wasn't. I think he's an a-hole by not thinking.
Yeah,
like accidental a-hole.
Yeah, he's just like, oh,
yeah.
I done chose the wrong.
I think by the fact that he felt that he had to post this to ask if he was the a-hole means he might have a slight bit of feeling bad about it.
Yeah,
so he's not a total a-hole.
He's not that antisocial from the sister.
I think he can come back.
Yeah, he's fine. The friend though has a fucking road of redemption to go back on. That's crazy.
Yeah, that poor girl.
I feel bad, man. I'm gonna be honest. My girlfriend kind of had that whole thing, and I had to explain to her, why do you want to dress like a slut on Halloween?
I don't know. That is just a weird thing.
It's like
it's with like every holiday now, because this one was specifically Christmas, so it's like, why?
Wait, but this wasn't Halloween?
No, this was a Christmas party, and that's why she wanted to cover up a little bit better because it's cold. Christmas time.
Yeah, you know what? I thought this was Halloween. Never mind. I take it back. He was kind of an a-hole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought this was like a Halloween party just as elves.
It's Christmas.
Never mind. Did you say that or did I zone out?
Caleb in post rewind.
I zoned out there.
If I specifically said what holiday it was. If not, just put a farting sound effect here. I think Christmas time, their frat.
Frat already starting off at a fucking.
Their frat had a party.
I must have zoned out there. I did not hear Christmas. I heard Halloween.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
But I think we've come to the same consensus. He's an a-hole, but not the biggest a-hole.
Yeah, I would have given her
give her a sweater
or something.
Give her something.
I had a whole bunch of my mom's sweaters in my closet because there was no other room to place them. I would have just given one of the literal default gray ass sweaters from the 2000s to her. Just been like, here.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Your friend's a dick.
Merry Christmas. Hopefully you're cozy on the couch sleeping, because this is probably rough.
I would have in that scenario been like, we can either eat You can either be by yourself, eat, or you want to do it. It's up to you.
You can just watch me play games.
Or you can watch me play games.
Which is what she did.
She did?
Naked on the couch.
Oh.
Probably shivering.
Like, man chose the most default option.
He chose the...
Because I'm assuming they're like in college or something, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking college, man. Go a little bit crazy.
I mean...
You want to get high? I would have been like that. I got some weed. You want to get high or something, or like drink? Like
I would have just gave her clothes. That's all she asked for.
Yeah, but I would have been like, well, we're here in this scenario. You know, you want to do something?
Look, when you're cranking 90s, sometimes.
Riding out Fortnite's crazy. Anyway,
when
you got a near naked elf woman in your house, like, dude. If I told the group that or the game chat, the boys would have been like, "What the fuck are you doing here, dumbass? Go get laid."
Look, it's fine.
And Craig would have just been like, "Yeah, man.
Yeah, man." That's Craig's canonical voice now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
You gotta go do that.
Go get
It does
that elf.
not sound like that at fucking all.
Get the elf.
It's probably a little bit higher. It's like up here. This is how I imagine Craig sounds like to me.
Oh my goodness. All right, here's the first real story that's not just me recounting. Am I the a-hole for not making my daughter apologize to the woman who spoke to her like a baby? I have a daughter, Katie, who is 6 years old. She is a very smart and straightforward little girl.
Okay.
People are often surprised over what comes out of her mouth. We do talk about filtering, but as she's 6, she's not always best at it. I admit I didn't use a lot of baby talk when she was younger and do speak to her as I would an adult. Katie has a babysitter, Lauren, who watches her some afternoons if I'm not off by the time Katie is done with school. One night, I had to work late. Lauren's mom, Julie, stopped by at one point to drop something off. Now, I wasn't there, but by Lauren's own admission, her mom can be a lot. The following is a recount from Lauren, and Katie has confirmed it when I discussed it with her privately.
Okay.
Julie began gushing about how cute Katie is and began baby talking her using cutesy words, pronouncing things with W's, etc. Lauren was cooking dinner for herself and Katie. Julie turned to Katie and asked, "Are you ready for your nummies?" Katie got a weird look on her face and asked, "Why are you talking to me like that? Are you stupid or something?" Julie got offended and Lauren told Katie to apologize. Katie said no and told Lauren to stop talking like a baby. Julie left not long after. When Lauren relayed the story, I said maybe Katie shouldn't have been so candid, but Julie shouldn't have talked to her like an infant. Lauren said she just wants Katie to apologize to her mom. I said Julie should apologize for Katie for treating her like a baby. I did talk to Katie about being more polite. She seemed to be receptive. When I told my mom about the whole situation, she was appalled. She said Julie was probably just trying to be nice and didn't realize how mature Katie is. She said Katie should absolutely apologize. All right, Alex, what's your thoughts?
It's funny. A lot of interesting factors here to take in.
A lot of different sides, different backgrounds.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I don't think anybody's the asshole here. I think this is a genuine case of like, you didn't know. So I think everybody just should be let bygones be bygones, because it's like, oh, I fucked up. The child doesn't want to be treated like this or to be talking like this. And like vice versa and things. So I think everybody should be like, just check it out for next time. Now, if you did it again, that'd be different. But I think this is just a case of like, shit. The child has intelligence.
The child has thinking, has brain power.
It has info.
I think at the very least, the mom should apologize on behalf of the daughter. Just be like, hey, sorry my daughter said that. She's a straightforward kid. She just says what's on her mind. So sorry about that.
I don't think anybody's an asshole, but maybe you should like just be like, hey, just FYI, my kid's a little bit of a. She got some intelligence for a 6-year-old.
She got a brain.
She's specking into
She's
intel
cognitive.
Right now. Yeah, that's what I would have said.
But no, I don't think Yeah, I think I agree. I don't think anybody's the a-hole in this situation.
It's a kid. Like when it's a kid, it's just the shit factor. It's like, oh damn. Unless they really do something heinous, but like in that scenario, it's just like, why are you talking to me weird? Like in my view, with kids, I treat kids like mini adults because I also view adults as giant kids. So like I only baby them when they are literally immobile. They can't move. The only thing they're capable is rolling around. After they get away from the rolling around phase, I'll talk to them like I do anybody, which is a problem because I'll just be like, hey man, you want to go fuck up some food? Well, that's just the fault on me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah, I just think, yeah, nobody's the a-hole there. It's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
all around. The mom came in not knowing who this little girl was. Definitely, she's probably one of those who's very much affectionate towards her kids. Oh my god, I need a baby! And then, of course, if the kid's cute, she'll probably be like, "Whoa, baby!" Probably hasn't had a baby in the house for a while. Yeah. So
I think it's just like a hey, FYI, just the kid is intelligent. They will be speaking. Because imagine just a 6-year-old just being like, "Well, ma'am, I do not want to be told by this woman to. Why are you so insensitive? This is perplexing." But it would be more like a girly voice. I can't do a posh voice like that. I can do a funny gentleman. By golly!
By George! I do say, could you pass the tea, please?
No, we ran out, William.
Then what are we doing sitting around for? Let's get some more.
Yes, and refrain from the poor.
Yes, of course. We must.
Man, I've been fiending for some tea over the past few days.
I have had a matcha tea addiction, actually.
Really?
I really like matcha tea.
I think we're getting older, bro, because I'll be fucking around with like teas and fruits and like my adult palate kicked in the past few months.
It's still insane to me that you're like, man, I've been trying fruits. I'm like, what do you mean trying fruits?
I have not been trying fruits, but it's like my adult palate finally kicked in. I'm like, hold on, man. Hold on, this fruit right here. That's what happens when you like live in a household that's like primarily fucking red meat eaters.
Insane. I could not, ever since I was a mere child, I couldn't go a day without fruit.
It's crazy. I was specking into raw meat.
The raw meat.
Okay, anyway.
All right, here's the next one. Am I the a-hole for telling a guy the street's there, you can go sleep in it, after they bead about sharing a bed with me and then made him sleep on the floor? My sister, 24 female, and I, 24 male, live together. Mm-hmm. We are pretty social people and run in the same friend group, so we normally have a lot of our friends at our house whenever we can. This particular night, we were having a girls' night, parentheses, I'm one of the gays, TM. I'm one of the gays, so of course I'm invited to every girls' night. One of the girls, 24 female, ended up bringing her brother, 20M, because she was going to be driving him somewhere else in the morning. It works out since instead of a dining room and living room, we have 2 living rooms at each end of the house, so we could have our privacy and he can do his own thing. Mm-hmm. At the end of the night, we worked out a sleeping arrangement. We have a couch in each living room, so 2 of the girls claimed those, like they usually do. One of the girls shared with my sister, and one was going to share with me. We got a blow-up mattress for the brother. Apparently, that wasn't good enough since he has a bad back and wanted a bed instead. The girl sharing with me, being the sweetheart she is, offered up her spot in my bed, and she'd sleep on the mattress. He did not like that idea and started getting angry
he's immediately
about
the dick.
How he's not immediately going to share.
the dick.
about how he's not going to share a bed with a gay guy. And what if he tries something?
He's gay. He's a dick and homophobic.
No way. And in parentheses, oh, sweetie, you flatter yourself. Definitely not my type.
And he roasts you back.
He suggested he share with my sister, and that was a big no from her. So he had more of a... He was more angry about how bad his back is and yada, yada, yada. Eventually, I just opened up the front door and said, the street's there. You can go sleep in it instead. He ended up sleeping on the floor because I took the blow-up mattress away. Me and my sister personally think he was fishing to share a bed with her. I've gotten quite a bit of backlash from the girl whose brother it is and her friends. Nothing from the other girls. So am I the a-hole?
So who's talking here? Is it the
This is the brother, or the brother of, this is the gay brother.
Oh, this is the gay guy?
The gay guy.
So he's saying he's the asshole, or is that guy the
He's
asshole?
asking if he's the a-hole for basically kicking the guy out of the house for making a fuss about the sleeping arrangements.
Hey, yo, bro, he was being homophobic to begin with, dog. But the real question is why?
Let's be real. He's trying to be Sigma male, sleep with your sister, and you guys offered him every possible solution, and it was basically his choice to stay there. So he's a guest in your house, making a stink about sleeping arrangements so he can sleep with your sister. I don't think you're the a-hole at all. Like, at some point, I think this guy's honestly cool for doing this. Like, at some point, stand up for yourself and be like, hey man, you either sleep by our rules or you don't sleep here at all.
Yeah, that's just, you're just being weird. To be totally honest, I don't know why you... I think out of courtesy, being a gentleman, at least in this scenario,
sleep on the air mattress
or sleep. I was gonna say sleep on the fucking floor to begin with.
He did. That was what he ended up doing.
I'm like, that guy's a fucking character, dog. Good for the gay guy, bro. That was fucking
gay guy.
That was fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to digest it all, and then you got to the I don't want to sleep with the gay guy. I'm like,
whoa. Look,
it's like the ultimate. This is the thing with big beds. It's called sleeping on your side away from another person.
It's either that or you gain a real homie for life.
It's just that. It's just that's like I'm thinking with like my girlfriend's like gay friends. I think I would be able to share a bed with Juan. He's also a small guy, so I'd be able to like fucking spread my legs a little bit and shit. So, but like, it'd be good fine with me.
Spoon for warmth.
I'm good, dog. I draw the line. Here's a fucking crazy thing. People are fucking dumb in this day and age. It's called a blanket wall. Fucking moron, man.
I mean, yeah. I think at some point you just figure it out. Yeah. Like he's a 20-year-old man. He can figure out his sleeping arrangement without. Like, honestly, I think this was all about him wanting to sleep with this guy's sister.
Fucking weirdo.
Like, absolutely strange behavior. Oddball behavior.
Creeper, bro.
Creeper.
Fucking.
I was just about to say that, too.
Creeper. Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Make it into mine.
Oh, okay. It's funny, these seem to always be very cut and dry.
They really are.
So, am I the a-hole for refusing to look after my neighbor's kids in a medical emergency? I, female 26, live in a block of new build apartments.
Okay.
Everyone moved in a year ago, so we're all getting familiar with our neighbors. There's quite a few families on my landing, and we have shared a courtyard where the kids play in the summer, so we can get chatting while the kids are playing. We've done favors for each other in the past, like formula milk and normally kid stuff. Mainly me giving it out, to be honest. But I try not to get too friendly. I have 2 kids myself, a 2-year-old and an 11-month-old. I'm currently solo parenting as my husband's gone away for a few days to spend time with his family and friends. There's a mum in the group chat of the moms in the building. Who swap kids around and babysit each other's kids for a few hours and they rotate. I'm just a silent watcher, to be honest. I don't participate, and it's not something I'm comfortable with, and my kids can't even communicate properly. Fair. They are literally babies.
They cannot speak.
They can't speak.
They're not like
words.
the 6-year-old from earlier.
Last night around 3 a.m., I get a knock on the door. Me and my kids are fast asleep. I tried to ignore it as one, I'm home alone. Fair. 2, I wasn't expecting company. And 3, it's 3 a.m. Anyway, after they wouldn't stop and my kids were starting to wake up, I looked through the peephole and noticed it's my neighbor. I open the door and it's her and her boyfriend and have 2 kids. She's 9 months pregnant, clearly in labor. They've got their hospital bags. They told me if I could take the kids till her sister got there in an hour. I said, I'm sorry, but no, I don't want to be liable if anything were to happen to her kids under my care, and I don't want to risk waking mine up. I feel like this is something you need to plan ahead and not start knocking on doors hoping someone takes your kids in. I've already got my hands full with my 2. There's no way I'm having another 2 running around my house at 3 in the morning. They are 1 and 4, and I know they aren't just going to sit and watch TV quietly. They call me evil and rude, and the boyfriend got onto me saying, what kind of mother watches another struggle? I feel like if my husband
Damn, I
was
won't lie,
around,
that was
he
a
wouldn't
hard
speak
line.
to me like that. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Seems like there's a lot of entitled people here or parents who think it's normal to just relentlessly knock on virtual strangers' door to dump their kids on them at 3 a.m. Edit 2. I think people are forgetting how 1-year-olds act. They're usually very attached to their car. And I'm sure watching his parents leave him with me, a stranger, would have left him inconsolable. Waking up my 2 kids and having all 4 awake at 3 a.m. sounds nightmarish. Edit 3. I just spoke to I just spoke to the other neighbor who took them in, and she told me the sister didn't get there until 8 a.m. Also, the kids were awake the entire time and woke up her kids and trashed her house.
Okay, now that last edit now adds a little to it then.
I guess I'll let you go real quick.
This one's complex as fuck though. You know, I was kind of on the other the boyfriend and the girl's side up until that last point. She didn't. It was not promised, and the kids didn't end up fucking around. Oh, I don't know.
Here's the way I see it.
You say yours because I'm in this area of like weird gray. I'm trying to pick up the parts.
It's always like no matter what. Like somebody was gonna have their house probably thrashed by a 1 and 4-year-old because that's just what they do. They're children. They get into things. I think it's very inconsiderate to think that they could be prepared with a babysitter for a situation like this,
4 a.m.
especially as somebody who this woman has had children. So she should know that you can't really be prepared for when a baby is being birthed. So not being able to have somebody
on call makes sense. That's what I was thinking. Like up until like the kids thrashed the place, I was like, you know, you couldn't. If everything went according to plan, I've been like, you know what? It's only an hour. What can happen?
Because like even if it takes the sister 5 hours to get there from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. At some point, I feel like you have to look inside yourself and be like, this person's in dire need of help. And it's 3 a.m. and I just so happen to wake up and be there. And this is not a situation people should find themselves in. At some point, you just have to say, you know what, I'm going to bite the bullet on this and just take care of the kids. Because you don't know if the other neighbor is somebody who can be trusted with children.
That is also
you
true.
really don't. So at some point, she's kind of the a-hole for really only caring about herself in this situation.
What would have
when it's kind of a thing? It seems like it's a thing in this particular neighborhood that they've kind of built a community to be like, hey, we
Spot
help
my back.
we help each other.
Yeah, rubbing each other's backs.
Yeah. So I
There's
think,
a lot of factors.
She's
here.
kind of an a-hole in this situation, but I can at the same time understand being like, it's 3 a.m. I'm very tired, and I don't feel. I think the way she went at it is wrong. If she didn't feel that she was going to be capable of taking care of 2 other children, being like, I'm sorry, but I really am tired, and I don't think I'll be able to take care of your kids while this is happening.
I'll take one of them. You take the other.
You'll have to find somebody who is more capable at this moment in time of taking care of them.
What I'm confused at, because I'm assuming this is the UK from the use of mum. Does the UK not like take kids?
A lot of the time, hospitals will not let kids be in there.
Really?
Well, specifically for the birth, because I'm pretty sure the boyfriend wanted to be in the room to help out with just being there for.
Because I saw kids up in the labor unit up there once or twice.
That's usually when they have somebody to watch them.
Yeah,
but because you don't want to leave your children on the nursing staff. That's
that part's fucked up. But like, see, but then I'm looking into this. I'm like, I get it. You're seeing the birth of your kid. But you're already 3 in deep. You've already seen it twice, dog.
But I mean,
maybe
he has to take the wife there or the girlfriend there though.
Yeah,
he has to.
That's
and
already
at that
fine.
point, you're already there. If you're not there supporting your wife, that's kind of you're an even worse a-hole than dropping off your kids with the neighbor.
No, I meant like take everybody there. That's what I'm trying to get at. And like, you don't have to be at the birth of your 3rd child. You've already seen it. You have to take the burden as the father and take care of your things while the medical people worry about that shit at that point. That's where I'm at with it. But I don't know how the UK works with their shit and stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like I think this lady's kind of being
I agree with you there. But
I think at the very least, she could have declined being able to take care of them probably a little better. Yeah. Like if at the very least she could not take care of these kids, she didn't have to be like, hey, I don't want to be liable to anything that happens. Sounds very harsh. Yeah. You should be like, I don't think I'm in the right space to be taking care of your kids.
Single mother right now.
I'm a single mother.
Can't take 2 more.
I'm a single mother dying for sleep.
She probably could have said it better.
I think somebody else is more capable to take care of your children.
You know what, too? And this is just random as fuck, but like, due to the influence my mother has been saying, because apparently she's on British TikTok, but she's come to the conclusion, as well as many other Americans, thanks to the UK people that moved to America, to be like, yeah, you guys are way fucking nicer. Yeah. It's apparently Americans shockingly have better manners than Europeans. Apparently, says my mother and her info on TikTok. So hearing this kind of story, I'm all like, you know what? This is very UK. I'm good. I don't want your kids. But like, she is the a-hole, but like, I want to know more about the hospital situation, because if like you can have your kids there in a different room where your wife's having labor, I'm like, you should have just taken I think me and my girlfriend Nat, like if I was a father, I would have been like, let me take care of my kids. You do you. I'll be a parent, but you're good. I'm gonna go do this.
I just think that there's probably just a different mindset with different relationships. Yeah. Because probably this couple wants to be together during this scenario. And then it's like, we want to make sure our kids are in a good spot too.
That is you know what I get from this? You know what I get from this fucking Reddit? It's just a fucking random bad events. They all just seem so peculiar. They're just weird. Like none of these seem normal. Slutty elf at your door. What do you do? I don't know. Anyway, give me a next one. Almonds and chocolate chips. That's what I've also been munching on. A little bit of trail mix. I want some cashews.
Cashews.
Cashews come from a tree.
I'm seeing a lot of them that have been unanimously voted not the a-hole now.
You can see it?
Yeah, they have like a note at the top that
really
shows if they're not the a-hole.
Go for
I'm
hot.
trying to see
Controversial.
controversial.
Search by controversial.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you go to the very top and then it says sort by or something.
Where?
Of the Reddit. So you go all the way back to the top of the page and then it says sort by.
Sort by.
Yeah. It should. I know on mobile it's better. But I don't know how to do it on the MacBook. Also, my mom's making lasagna. I'm gonna fuck that shit up when I go home. I get home.
Okay, here's the top one then. I'll just read the top one.
Okay.
Am I the a-hole? This is a long one too.
Story.
Am I the a-hole for leaving a dinner with my girlfriend's family because they kept speaking in a language I didn't understand?
I'm already starting off on a bad fucking note. Anyway, continue.
All right, let me.
You gotta have some balls to do that shit. I'll give it to you there. Oof. Okay, continue. Continue.
I am from Galicia, a region in Spain that speaks a language that is very similar to Portuguese, and my girlfriend is from Barcelona, which is in Catalonia. She speaks Catalan. I'm not familiar.
I've heard of it.
We live in Madrid and study here in university. Everyone in Spain speaks Spanish, except for foreigners, pretty much, on a native level from education, media, and exposure. Mm-hmm. There is no such thing as a Spaniard who only speaks Basque, Catalan, or whatever, unless they are 90 plus years old from some small village. And even then, they would know the basics of Castilian Spanish. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to get some comments about this. Okay, so here's the conflict. People from Catalonia, yes, Catalonia.
Yeah, you're right. You've been saying it correct.
Are often very nationalistic and will sometimes refuse to speak Castilian. I was in Valencia and some B word said, speak properly, speak Valencian, a dialect of Catalan. When I asked her for directions in Castilian Spanish, my girlfriend invited me over to her parents' house in Barcelona. They talked amongst themselves for a bit in Catalan. I understood like maybe half or 2/3 of it. They greet me in Catalan and I say in Castilian that I don't speak Catalan. I'm from Galicia. They say something in Catalan to each other, which I think was negative. We eat dinner. Her sisters and their husbands are there. They are discussing things in Castilian, and they would often say things to each other in Catalan, which I thought was rude, but I let it go. They kept switching to Catalan during our conversation, and I politely reminded them like 5 times that I don't speak Catalan. They would go back to Castilian, but then switch back to Catalan. I go outside to take a breath of fresh air. Girlfriend joins me, and I ask her what the F is her family's problem. Why do they keep excluding me from the conversation? And she says they just hate speaking Castilian. I told her that's BS. I heard her dad speak in Castilian to someone in Peru during his Zoom meeting. He took a 30-minute Zoom call while I was there.
That's professional, though.
And the mom was preparing food, and not once did he switch to Catalan. We join back and they start asking me my opinions about things. I respond, I ask them questions, and they respond back in Catalan and respond to each other's responses to that in Catalan. And I just had enough and said, I'm leaving now. The food was good, but I just can't stand the rudeness. I told you how many times I do not speak Catalan. I don't feel welcome, so I'm going. Goodbye. And the father says, how effing rude. We repaired such a good meal for you, and you are leaving it unfinished. We spent hours on this. They made an entire goose and like 5 side dishes.
Jesus.
I said, I effing told you I don't speak Catalan. Why should I be here when you can't even respect me enough to speak in a common language? I never spoke to you in Galician, Portuguese, English, or Romanian. F you a-holes. I grabbed my stuff and left. 15 missed calls from my GF last night. Stayed at a friend's parents' home nearby. Haven't talked in a day. I don't know what to do now. Am I the a-hole?
That was a lot to unpack.
That was a lot.
I can say off the bat, though, since I am Hispanic and I'm in the culture pretty deep, it's not too much different from. I'll speak for myself here, for Mexicans. Mm-hmm. The switch swap is constant. It's depending on the age. He actually got it. Depending on the age of the person. If you're younger and you're bilingual, you will every other sentence. You say something and then go straight to English or something or back. The older generation, I see it with my grandfather, my grandmother. She'll try to the other person and then she'll be like, she'll just switch into Spanish. But my grandma kind of knows I know a little bit of Spanish, so she can get away with it. But when she's talking to someone who's white, she'll try her best. So I can understand the switch swap a lot, but this is a highly complex scenario here.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving gears here,
and I'm gonna partly blame this because if you know Spain's history, that whole peninsula, it makes sense why there's like the language conflict barrier because Spain during World War II was not World War I and II were a little bit weird. So I'm guessing with some cultural things there, it's just like whatever's comfortable or whatever's the majority there in terms of the talking stuff. But speaking from an American cultural point, it does seem kind of rude they didn't fully include him. Mm-hmm. But if you're having like a side conversation, I can understand the switching. But I also understand, because, you know, me being the fucking white Mexican I am, I do understand the switch up somebody has. Mm-hmm. And usually, sometimes, I don't want to say it's the majority of it, when they usually switch to Spanish, it's usually because they're saying something different or something they don't want you to know because they know you can't. Mm-hmm. But that's because that's the Hispanic in me.
Which I think that's kind of what he's getting at.
Yeah. And I won't lie. Languages are complex and stuff, but there is one thing every human has that we universally have. Body language and tone.
That is true.
Even when a German is going crazy with their language, you know, even by the tone of their voice, they're probably not being a dick. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming by the way he's describing it, unless there's underlying racial issues or cultural issues here.
I think it should go without saying, me and Alex aren't culturally aware of this what area happens in Spain.
Yeah. I can maybe have an understanding of it, but it's not even close.
Living in America, we really only have to worry about the only other language being Spanish, which is the only language barrier. And it sounds like there's a lot of different languages within this one country.
It's you got Portuguese and then like subset fact. What's actually is pretty common in Europe because it's just like there's a national language, but then like there will be like a massive majority that does not speak it at all, which is really interesting. But like when going back to it, like I don't think he's the. Okay, I'm going to use this card. I don't think he's the biggest dick in the room.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see, if anything, if you were having a hard time, I would have said, I won't lie, his girlfriend must have been being really fucking nice. So good job to her from what I can understand from the basic viewing of this. But
I think
they were kind of being dicks if I know my Spanish culture enough and the switching of languages. Well, shockingly too, this is the fun fact. It is extremely prevalent with Spanish speakers to switch. Other countries don't do that. It's really weird. They rarely do that.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Like,
well, actually, I don't know.
Mudahar had a whole thing about it because he got into some controversy with Spanish speakers. And he's like, dude, Indians do not switch mid conversation, but
I've heard of
Hispanics will do it like immediately.
Chinese do that too.
Yeah, Curious does do it. No, he does it sometimes. We'll say a comment or whatever, and he'll go. He just starts speaking Chinese and make me laugh.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What are you saying? Where's all these X's coming from? These aren't common to the American tongue. What? But no, it really is language dependent. But in this scenario, I understand it because I've also dealt with it pretty heavily with my family. But I won't lie, the way he exited out of the room, you are a fucking prick.
That's what I was just about to say.
He is a prick. I won't lie. As an American, as a Mexican American, you should have bit the fucking bullet.
Bite the bullet, literally,
and then complain to your girlfirend after and have a completely different conversation. I was about
to say that because him doing that is, I think, at the very most, is extremely disrespectful to his girlfriend.
Yeah,
because it's like if he truly did care about her, he would have just been I guess I'm not going to be part of these conversations if I don't understand what they're saying. But out of solidarity for loving my girlfriend, I'm going to sit tight.
Sit there in ignorance.
Sit there in ignorance. And when they say something that I do understand to me, I will be able to participate in that conversation. Nod and wave. That's all you can do. And then, like you said, you talk to her afterwards. And be like, I had no idea what they were saying.
I was fucking clueless. And then you could have given the comment like, because I think they were being dicks.
Because there's no proof that they were doing this out of malice.
Yeah.
Because it could be like you said, they just switch because they speak both.
Yeah. But I will also mention sometimes, at least within Hispanic culture, so I am including the motherland and all of south of the border, even in the US, I won't lie. The switching thing is used as a tactic against people who does it. But like, we don't have the whole story. But seeing how they were being courteous though,
like they didn't show signs that they were
being dicks. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm only going on assumptions of my history with Hispanics and Spain and stuff. And knowing the culture, but like, I don't know. I'm actually kind of confused here. I think he's a dick.
Yeah,
he definitely is. But on the off chance they were being dicks, maybe even being subtly racist, like they will probably be the bigger assholes here. But if that's not the case, man, you fucked up. Yeah, big time, dog.
100%.
You should have just bit the bullet. You just really should have.
Yeah, because his girlfriend seems sincere.
Yeah,
she
the girlfriend
seems genuinely sincere.
And I won't lie, I am trying to learn more Spanish on the side. It probably won't be until like, you know, I meet my girlfriend's like extended family that lives south of the border, where I will like months in advance, like Goku against the Saiyans, I will start training myself to actually learn better Spanish. But it's just like, you knew her family was different. You should have at least brushed on a few things. Hello, or hi.
Even if you didn't have time to do that, it's just, you sit and enjoy your dinner.
I might as well, dog.
At the very least.
It's a free meal.
Maybe this is just speaking from my experience, but even when people are speaking English, sometimes I just zone out of conversations.
Yeah.
Especially during dinner. When I don't know the people around me, just zone out and eat.
I just zone out in general when I eat, dog. It's like why are we talking?
At some point, it's just you just enjoy the food, and try to be as respectful as possible when you're in somebody else's home.
Yeah, and it's just I won't lie, but like I previously said, my mom might have a point. Maybe Europeans just might not just be that nice.
They're probably not. And from the sound of things,
Hey,
that Southern hospitality has claimed America.
Yes, but the thing is too, though, I even asked Nat this in France. Nobody really says like, hi, hello, sir. They didn't do that when she was there. They only ever did it when she said it too. So I got like 2 sources saying Europeans ain't that fucking friendly.
To be fair though, how many people in America do you see doing that unless they are extremely charismatic?
You know what? I give them the benefit of the doubt. I think a little bit more than you think. I at least personally speaking to me, from me, at least in my experiences.
I'm going to disagree on that. I think a good majority of people, especially in larger cities, tend to not acknowledge each other's existence. I think that is the title of my essay, my introductory statement. I'm not going to go any further.
No thesis. You only get the title anyway.
You get the title. All right. I guess here's the last one. Am I the a-hole for cooking the quote unquote wrong pasta and not leaping into action to correct it? So just by that title alone, how do you feel?
Hey, I'm kind of good if it's pasta and a sauce, like, you know,
pasta.
I'm gonna just eat the pasta, dog.
All right, here's the story. My sister's situationship recently got
upgraded. Already off on a bad foot. Anyway,
recently got upgraded to the real deal.
Oh, never mind.
And she insisted that it was time for me to meet her girlfriend and her girlfriend's daughter, who is 11,
lesbian.
Who is 11 and autistic with high support needs. Over the course of several conversations, this plan morphed into them all coming over to my place for dinner. Sis let me know in advance that the daughter, quote, pretty much only eats spaghetti with butter, no pepper, and Uncrustables, which was fine. The grown-ups could have pasta primavera, and she could have her own bowl of buttered noodles. I don't know why, but when my sister said spaghetti, I thought she meant pasta in general, so I made a bowl with bow ties that I had on hand. They arrive for dinner, hold on. They arrive for dinner, and the daughter won't eat her buttered noodles because they're in the wrong shape. Her mother asks if I have any spaghetti, and I'm like, I have fettuccine that is still in a box in dry form. I offer to make a peanut butter and jelly after dinner and make it look like an Uncrustable, but that won't work because she eats the strawberry jelly kind, and I only have grape jelly and an ancient jar of strawberry rhubarb jam in the back of the pantry that is obviously a non-starter. She asked me to go ahead and try the fettuccine, and I'm like, sure, I'll get right on that as soon as I'm done eating. Both my sister and her girlfriend are not happy with the lack of urgency. I am not happy with being asked to let my dinner get cold while I cook a second meal because a kid won't eat her favorite food when it's in a different shape. And by now, the vibe of the whole evening is in the trash. They end up leaving so the daughter can go have spaghetti at home. And my sister is angry because that was a disaster, and it's all my fault because she clearly said spaghetti. I'm like, I'm sorry. I genuinely did not realize bow ties and spaghetti were completely different, and never the twain shall meet. She's like, you don't understand how much picky kids, and especially autistic kids, need everything to be just so. And I'm like, yeah, I obviously don't understand. So why did I end up being the one who had to take the lead on this dinner? Now we're at an impasse.
Yet again, kids ruining things.
I don't think this guy's the a-hole.
He did honestly do a fuck up a little bit.
It's a minor screw up, but at some point, it's like, I don't think the kids, unless the kid's gonna freak out because they don't have dinner right away, I think they could wait just a little bit for him to finish his plate real quick and then be like, okay, now I'm going to boil up some new fresh noodles, which then again, it
takes like 4 minutes to make noodles.
It's not even clear if this kid will even like these new noodles.
Yeah.
So he could just be doing he could be just waiting to make more food, and then the more food isn't even.
Fuck up that lasagna when I get home, dog.
So I think he does have a point too, where if it was going to be this big of a deal, he shouldn't have been the one in charge of making dinner.
Yeah, you know what? I won't lie. First time meeting somebody, why the fuck is it at his place? Mm-hmm. That's a peculiar thing,
especially when you have somebody who's picky.
Yeah,
like this when you're going to a stranger's house with a picky child. Yeah. They don't know exactly how picky this person's gonna be. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm just gonna make what I think is gonna work because I don't know any better. And then he did, and is like, that was wrong. And he's like, oh well,
fuck.
I'm hungry.
And I won't lie too. I will always give the excuse to guys. If it's not simple off the bat, and you expect a lot from a guy not knowing everything, I'm gonna be honest, get ready for some fucking disappointment. Because if it's like, unless you are a cultural phenom who understands all little facets of life and stuff, and like if you hear autistic kid, you'd be like, all right, I gotta fucking Batman, I gotta prep time this shit. I gotta walk in and fucking you start fucking that bullshit. It's like you're gonna be set up for disappointment. Yeah, like you really honestly set up this guy up for failure.
He really was set up for failure.
This guy was not gonna win.
No,
he was not. But I also want to critique the girlfriend with the autistic kid. I know I've heard some things down the grapevine that I know kids can be picky and they can be autistic too, and that's just a fucking mess of combos. But I still feel like from what I've heard from other people, because I know kids with I've known adults with autistic kids who have been able to like weave around it and been able to craft like a way to deal with it, because humans are good at adapting even to around their kids' needs. But like Uncrustables and spaghetti, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's very
no juice boxes.
Not to be like judgmental here, but
I'm judging.
Your kid's not getting essential nutrients that they need to survive.
Like
there's some big things missing when their diet consists of buttered noodles and Uncrustables.
I want to try buttered noodles. I've never done that.
I can't imagine it's as good as having sauced noodles.
No, but like butter and pastas like marinara sounds pretty good. I want to try that.
I'm
just going off on a tangent, but like you need to feed that kid different things, dog.
At some point, I don't know much about autistic kids and how far in the spectrum they can be, but at some point, it does become an issue when the kid's not eating anything.
Yeah,
like at some point, you have to put your foot down and be like, "Hey,
dog, you need to do something else
for your own good. You need to eat better."
Like try anything.
Like even I don't know if this is a similar thing, but like babies are not like mentally capable of knowing what they need to eat and what they don't need to eat.
They are dumb.
If a baby wants to eat candy all the time, you can't just serve them candy all the time because that's the only thing they'll eat. At some point, you have to be like, you have to eat real food, what I prepared for you. Yeah. You have to eat this, or you don't get anything.
I had a conversation with my father. It wasn't with my dad or Brian, with my girlfriend's parents, but like either one, but they fucking act fucking almost the exact same. So it's like, ugh. But we were having a conversation about like, yeah, I think personally as a father, like once I get out of my household, I think I'm literally, there's going to be like no sugar at my fucking place. Like I'm going to try to live a healthy lifestyle, and I'll try to bestow that upon my kids. Cause you know, I have a fear, my father has a fear of getting diabetes. He has diabetes. I'm just gonna fucking admit it. And for anybody who doesn't know, my family is pretty prone to it. So I would at least try to help my kids, even at an early age, being like mentally aware of that. My fucking parents clearly didn't care. Be like, all right, I'm gonna try to wean them off or try to remove it as much as possible, so they don't have sugar or like have a bigger like palate available.
I think that brings to mind something else. It's like when they're growing up, that must have been something you instilled into your mind or into their mind of that being something that they like to eat.
Yeah.
If that's the only thing they want to eat, which tells me that as a parent, you weren't giving them
options,
like a diverse variety of food as they were growing.
Yeah.
Because when you just throw food on a platter for a baby, they just start munching.
Oh yeah.
And they will just munch and munch and munch. So at some point down the line, they skipped the pasta noodles with sauce on it and just went straight to buttered noodles.
You know what that also could be though? I do understand as a kid. Oh wow, a slippery smooth substance on top of my noodles. This is good. Take a bite of a tomato. Ew. Icky.
But if your brain's already instilled to only know the pasta sauce, then you'd never go through that.
Yeah. It's just I think it's just dependent on the scenario. But like even then, it's just like, dog, they're malleable. I even think autistic kids are still malleable enough to be like, you should be able to fucking make them eat different foods. And even then, I think in that scenario, what all that proves is with the mom, dude, your kid's gonna have a fucking rough life. You gotta start fucking seeing the future fast.
Yeah, I think this is a clear sign that the mom has missed some steps when it comes to
motherhood.
Because I'm sure it's extremely difficult to take care of an autistic child.
Full fairness, yes.
It's probably extremely difficult. However, like Alex said, it is entirely possible to mold the child into a way that makes your life easier, but also their life better.
Yes, it's like
because they can't be living off of peanut butter and jellies all the time.
I wish I could.
Their body needs other things. They need other foods.
Yes.
So I maybe this is just the scenario where maybe they don't just eat the spaghetti. Oh no, it is. They pretty much only eat spaghetti with butter and Uncrustables. So yeah, you've created a problem.
Yeah.
You as the parent need to fix this problem. This isn't your girlfriend's brother's fault that this happened. He was cooking a meal
for you with what he had.
So
on the courtesy of his money,
his money, his house, his food, he made it the way he thought it would be. Because he even specifically made pasta because he knew this kid was coming.
Yeah.
So he put in.
There was an attempt.
He put in an earnest effort to make bow tie noodles for a child that he knew would only eat a specific food.
And you would think bow tie noodles are fun.
Yeah, that's
like to weird. A child, like to be like, what? They're bow tie?
Which also kind of tells me that the mom just lets them get away with this stuff.
Yeah, and I understand it. I've seen it in real time where kids don't eat because they're always. This is why I brought up the sugar thing too. It's just like once they're introduced to a certain food, that's the thing they only want to eat. But it's just like. I'm sorry to bring it up like kind of like this in a way, but like at one point you got to treat your kid like an animal and you have to eventually break them. Like at one point there'd be like, if they only want to eat sugar, even if there's no sugar at the house because an outside source put them onto it, they know there's no sugar here. So it's either starve
or eat. You either live or you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah. So, and I know there's the whole like, child rights and such, and I know I have to at least be fair to the child, but it's like you can eat now or you can eat when I eat again, because I won't lie, I don't think I'll ever break the habit of it's 9 o'clock. There's some leftover. There's some leftover. You want some, kid?
But yeah, I definitely
or work around that. That's another thing. Just have a later dinner. There's at one point when that stomach starts growling, you'll find a way to do it. I would have ate a hot dog when I was younger if there was only hot dogs in the fridge. I would have eventually.
At some point, every human will get hungry enough that they'll eat anything.
They will.
I hate tomatoes, but there's times when I come home from work and dinner's been made and my sandwich will have a tomato on it.
I don't give a fuck.
Even then, there's times when it's on it and I'm just eating because I'm hungry that I'm like, there's a tomato.
I'll deal with ketchup and mustard. Like I've gotten to that point.
I'm not autistic for one, so it's like, yeah, I guess, of course, you're not going to have a problem with eating things you don't like. But it's like, inside of everyone, there's this survival instinct that at some point, no matter what, you just have to eat something. So at some point, you will just have to eat whatever food is in front of you.
Yes.
You'll be hungry enough to be like, you know what? This is a different shaped noodle, but I'm hungry.
Fuck it.
Even in this case, though, the kid could just wait till they eat at home. Like, you're a guest in this guy's house.
Yeah, it's just weird.
He's not your personal servant.
Yeah.
He invited you over for a meet and greet. And that really should have been what the main thing was.
And but I also will be fair too. Kids are difficult to raise, and I would even assume autistic kids are even more difficult to raise. But like, when you're a parent, and I feel like I'm going to be honest, I will fully blame, not fully blame, but I will say at least when it came to my parents, and probably to a further extent to my girlfriend's parents and stuff, a lot of parents just think always I have to parent in the moment, but it's never like, are you not like, at least in my head, it's like, are you not like wrapping your mind around it like it's a game? I'm blaming Persona why I'm thinking like this. It's like I'm thinking 5 steps ahead. I'm putting defense down. I'm putting attack down. I'm trying to make him so my moves can't miss. Like when I'm thinking about this kid, man, I'm being like, I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna make sure he eats a majority of the food I make on time. So I'm gonna eat later in the day. So if anything, I'll be like, hey, you want to go outside and start running and shit? So they'll be like, man,
I'm very hungry.
Yeah, get them hungry, bro. Like, just do. That's what I'm gonna do, bro.
Or even there is also the case where they don't like this food, but you can like make it fun to try new foods.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Mashed potatoes, dino nuggies, and steamed broccoli. You make that shit up into a jungle. Kids don't, bro. He eating all of that shit.
At some point, you can make a food so irresistible that they will eat it.
Yeah.
And once you get to that point, you have now created a new cycle in their mind that they will then have a positive experience when they try to eat these foods again.
And at one point, I would feel like as they get older through life experience, they will eventually be like, I gotta just eat it, dog. It's like there's nothing in the fridge.
Because you also have to think, as this kid gets older too, it's gonna be a lot harder when they don't have somebody catering to their every need.
Oh yeah.
When they become an adult.
You know what? Just this is an off-topic thing. I don't know. I'm not trying to state anything like I'm a genius or what, but like, do you ever think maybe the autistic kids are too pampered? You ever think maybe that's an issue too?
I do think that it's sometimes, yeah. That I think. I guess this might be a controversial statement. So anybody out there can correct me.
You can correct us. We're just stating
if I'm 100% wrong, but I feel like labeling these kids in these ways almost hinders their ability to be able to grow as a human. Because once you're labeled as mentally impaired, that in your mind you can only see yourself in that way, and others will only see you in that way. So in this case, the daughter being called severely autistic and not being able to, like, in this case, I feel like the mom should be trying to help her grow. Yeah. Like that should be the mom's number one thing. Not to make her, like, part of growing for any person is the points in life where things become uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You have to be uncomfortable to become better as a person.
You have to.
So this mom should be putting this child not in an extremely uncomfortable environment, but providing them scenarios that make them uncomfortable enough that they have to go beyond what their comfort zone is.
Okay,
they have to go beyond where their comfort zone is to be able to grow as a person.
Yeah.
So trying a noodle that is a different shape would be something that would make this child grow as a person.
Yeah. Which is crazy. We're having a discussion of bow tie noodle leading into character development to begin with. I don't think this should be a discussion, but we're here.
Because it's not going to, at the end of the day, it's not going to taste any different.
No.
Texture-wise, I think it does have a slightly different texture. However, I feel like that's like an adventure for a child to at least try and eat as much of that as possible.
Did it say how old she was or no?
11.
I think I underestimated the severity of the issue here. She's how old? Repeat.
11 years old.
She's 2 years away from being a teenager. Oh, it's sweet Mary Joseph Jesus. Oh, I think you might have done a fucky wucky.
Yeah.
Hold on, Alex is reconsidering here. I think this situation is worse. Hold on.
It was already bad.
Oh, wait a minute. You're entering adolescence,
in middle school,
and you can only
assumingly this child is in middle school. So the odds of them eating at school is very slim.
Yes. Unless they're being catered there too, which, there's also
that is possible as well. But like I said, I feel like it's very important for any child to have their limits at least pushed a little bit.
Yeah.
By the people who care about them. They need to be constantly having somebody at least trying to push them to become more than what they are now.
Yeah, they have to. Like I said, man, I think anybody can be a parent. There's fucking demons outside. Anybody can be a parent, but only a special few can be great or amazing parents. Because you actually, just like a video game, like a hobby, like a thing, you have to put time and energy into it. And I think a lot of people fall heavily short of the fucking bare minimum line. In all honesty.
Ooh. I was going to say that was a good spot to end it off.
We're at hour 21 into this.
But I just scrolled and found a comment. Do you want me to read this as the last part?
Read it.
Autistic adult here.
Oh.
I thought I hated all pasta except spaghetti until I realized that most people don't cook pasta correctly. After I learned how to cook pasta, I went on an adventure to see which ones were poorly cooked and which ones just weren't for me because it's absolutely about texture. I loathe bow tie pastas because the bits that bunch up do not cook as quickly as the outer edges, and you almost always have a super al dente middles and practically overcooked edges. Macaroni is just too squishy. Most hollow pasta is, except for penne. Penne is perfect. It can be cooked into a perfect al dente.
It is,
and
true.
The pasta is thick enough to not overcook too quickly and not so thick that it's chewy, and it suits almost all pasta dishes. Spirals of any variety are either too firm or too squishy. No matter how they're cooked, shells are also bad. Manicotti is bad. Actually, all big stuffable pasta is basically terrible. Most spaghetti is great and even has different sizes / shapes and textures. Thin spaghetti is too close to angel hair, which will absolutely make me gag. Regular / thick spaghetti are both great textures when cooked properly, and again suitable in most pasta dishes. Squared spaghetti is my favorite and near impossible for me to find in stores near me. There is quite literally no place for Orozo and Gnocchi for me. Gnocchi is...
This is somebody's autistic rant
it's
right
too
now. What's the
chewy.
voice of this?
Orozo is what I imagine chewing on maggots feels like. So I mentally can't get over that lasagna is basically spaghetti cake. So that's a no for me too. Ravioli is hit and miss. All my safe
fair.
pastas I'd happily eat with butter, salt, and pepper, but I will absolutely refuse to eat any others if offered to me. I currently have goosebumps at the thought of biting into gnocchi. All right, that had absolutely that had very little to do with the story, but I will say this. I think proves my point that this person went out of their way to try
new things.
the new things, to know what they like and what they don't like specifically, and they were able to expand their horizons, even if they are still picky. Their horizons are still expanded, which I think is something that this girl's mother should be doing, is expanding her child's horizons.
I think we have to do a spinoff of this episode.
A pasta tier
We
list?
should try pastas.
Man,
I think we should.
Should we go to the Italian restaurant in town and do an episode there where we order every pasta?
I was just about to say, let's just order some pasta, just make little dishes.
Make little pasta dishes?
Yeah.
We could do that too.
I think that would be fun. That'd be a lot of prep. We can get my girlfriend on that one. She can make it for us.
cook for us, woman.
No, I would like her to be a part of it, but that would be a lot of bowls and a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
3 people would make it a lot more efficient.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to do that. I won't lie, man. He said ravioli was hit or miss. I don't know about that one, man.
Look, man, I'd say about all of these, I would eat any day of the week.
Fuck yeah, I would.
As I've basically after middle school,
everything is edible.
Everything is edible.
Give it to me.
When we made the every Burger King sauce dip, that was like,
it's gone. I've hit peak.
That's peak. Like,
I've hit diamond camo.
I've basically eaten garbage at this point.
Well, I think we're done here.
I think so too. Not a lot of a-holes today.
Where are the dickheads, man? Except for that one guy. Where's the controversial ones? I still think about that one kid fucking not being friendly with his sister to this day. We're like, damn, was he the asshole? I still think about that one.
Yeah.
It haunts me.
It haunts me.
It does, because I'm all like, I get it, man. You just want to be by yourself, but like, damn.
I honestly think maybe the biggest a-hole out of all of this, I think, might have been. I think it's a tie between probably the guy who left the dinner,
definitely,
and no, it's probably that guy.
That's that guy.
Close second is probably a tie between the guy who didn't give the girl clothes when she was naked and afraid.
I think there's a massive difference between those two people, dog.
Yeah, there definitely is, but I mean comparatively,
yeah,
to
what we read today,
the other people who were in these stories that we read today, a lot of these guys were not a-holes.
You know what we should probably do when we do one of these again is we have to go by oldest, because I feel like, I hate using this word, but I feel like too many normies are on Am I the Asshole?
There's too many people who are just not
assholes,
terrible people.
Yeah, shocker. The average person isn't a dickhead.
Crazy. Anyway, we'll do that next time for a part 3, whenever that happens.
That won't be soon though.
Probably not.
Yeah, but we'll do it.
We'll do it for sure, because these are fun to read.
Yes.
Anyway, Alex, any final comments?
Man, I am fucking fiending for this fucking lasagna. I am fiending for this shit. Mm-hmm. Like a crack addict.
Man, you're making me hungry for lasagna, but today's ab day. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't want to eat heavy before my first ab day in years.
Have fun. You're about to be...
Yeah, it's going to be pain.
Pain.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast, do the survey for our 100th episode anniversary in the description. And if you're listening on anything other than YouTube, go to the YouTube and click on that.
Help us.
Help us out, because we need answers. Mm-hmm. Anyway, peace out.
I'm going to go eat the ganga.